On the left side of the inside cover of the album, I want to put this lovely paper, and it has olive tones of the grapevine leaves and a little bit of the script showing, so definitely want to see this. But I'm going to be making a side pocket, just a simple one, but I want it to be ornate. So I'm using the Italiana grape clusters dies, and what I have done, I chose to go with a metallic on the actual vines and the leaves. So I took a piece of metallic gold paper and I cut it approximately 3 inches, maybe hitting towards 4. Let's see. Oh, that's good. 3 inches. Yeah, a little more than 3 inches. And I placed the die on the paper so that it would cut out the grapevines, and then I came back and just cut the edges here. Now it's still too long, but once I've done that, I need to put something behind it so it won't just be like this, because these are very delicate and I don't want them to bend and tear as you're putting things in and out of the pocket. So I found just a plain piece of cardstock in my attempt to save on my designer papers this time. That's somewhat of an olive green, which seems to go fairly well with the grapevines and the leaves. And I cut that into approximately 3.5. Yeah, 3.5. And then I die cut that so that I have this piece to place behind this piece to give it strength. So I'm going to glue that together. So this is actually the back of the 2 papers, or 3, glued together. I have trimmed off the sides and made sure that I did not glue under here because that's going to be part of the pocket. And now I'm just going to glue the back and put it on. Alright, so I have my foundation. Now I need to come back and do whatever I'm going to for embellishments, etc. I've chosen to trim the edge with this lace right here, and I'm just about finished, so I'm going to do this last piece. I'm using tacky glue because I'm using fabric, and I think it just edges nicely and seals some places that I want sealed up. Just going to run my finger along the edge here so it touches most of the lace. And place it down. And I will probably come back and put some things in the corners and some more embellishments. For the right side, I have chosen to take this lovely olive green with the script and all the beautiful little vine designs, and I've cut it not the full length because I'm going to put a pocket down here. So I'm going to glue that one on, and then the other portion of this paper, and I've inked it up, is going to be on the pocket on the bottom. So first I want to make sure it's facing the right way and my script is headed downward, and then I'm only going to be putting it on the edge, either side, and along the bottom, and that creates a bit of a pocket for me on the right side. And again, I'm using Vintage Photo for the inking, and I did ink the darker, more olive green, but it's dark enough so that you really can't tell. And I did use Distress ink, so I want to be careful if I'm going to take a wet wipe and go along it, I could start to move that ink. So, and then I'm going to come back and put the lace on the edge that I have here. I want to put it there as well. All right, so now I have cut out of the stamps and dies, I have cut out some of the embellishments that you can use from this collection, and I'm going to be placing the vines I thought looked really nice up at the top of the dark olive page. So I'll get those glued up. I'll place those right here in the center top. And again, this gold paper is a matte gold. It's not a completely shiny gold. You may not be able to tell that from the glare coming while I'm filming, but and just make sure I don't have any glue on the gold, because that doesn't look very pleasant. I might have to come in later once it's dry and add a little bit of glue in that spot there. Alright, and then I have cut out from the borders die this strip. I'm going to be careful not to get too much. Doesn't need that much glue. It's not going to be abused that much in usage. And if I get too much glue and it goes over the edge of the pocket, then the pocket's going to glue down. So I'm just going to go fairly light, maybe a few dabs down here. And that's going to go right here. Actually, that should have gone under the lace. Yes, it should have. Although it does cut the thing in half and really emphasize the packet's pocket. But I have a worse problem. See, I did just what I said, I think. No, that's on the edge. Let me just make sure. Yep. Okay. Press that down. I got a little dab of glue right there. Although, I don't know. Should it go in the lace or out of the lace? I feel like it should go in the lace. This lace might be down too much for me to fix that, but we'll see. Let's see if I can pick it up. Yep. Trying not to cut it. And I'm just going to tuck that underneath there. Alright. I don't know if anybody will know that that happened, but I like it better under the lace. Okay, and again, I just want to make sure that that is free and clear. Next, I'm going to add the other one of these pretty grapevines. I love the little twirly part. And I'm going to put that in the corner here. Maybe a little more onto that tip. And the bottle. And as I've said before, I'm keeping in mind my own personal trip to France while I'm doing this book. So I don't know if I want to make it all French. You know, European is more what I'm going for, but I'm thinking of when I had that wonderful trip and the images and what the trip was like. So I have those pretty little images down there. Up in the left hand corner, I want to add, now I have this as a trim in the store, this heart, this gold heart. It has a bit of sparkle because it has metallic thread in it. And I'm just going to use 3 of these up in the corner here to create sort of the background or bottom of a flower. Make sure I have the correct side. Just stick with the tacky. I'll use the hot glue on the final piece that I add in just a second. Okay, so that doesn't look so good yet, but I'm just going to take, and I will be making, I hope I'll be making some Heartfelt Creations flowers, but I really like this particular flower from Wild Orchid Craft. And I'm going to put some glue. Now the tacky glue is holding the trim down, the lace down. And this will actually stick to the lace. So, I think that's, oh, did I position it right? I hope so. I want to tuck that in a little bit. Trim it off. Alright, so a nice flower in the top upper left hand corner. And I have one of the hearts from the lace that I trimmed up, so it's pretty much just the heart with this pretty dangle coming down, and that one I'm going to place to balance it in the bottom left hand corner. Okay, so I have a little of that up and below, and then I have made some books. So I took some of the leftover gold and I just folded what I had in half, trimmed it up a little bit, took a little piece of the border paper that comes with the paper collection and one of the sentiments, and I put it with some glue. I kind of squeezed it together so it has a little bit of dimension, and the tag. And I'm not going to put anything on the center of the tag so that whoever owns this book, or whatever purpose the book turns out to be for, somebody could write something, or they could just leave it. And then I have a little bit of craft paper, and I've inked up the edges of both the inside of the book as well as the paper. Just put some journaling lines here. The back is plain. What I do want to do with this, though, for 1 second, is I really love this particular stamp. It's a beautiful image of the grapes, and I'm going to use the same distress ink, and I'm not really concerned if this doesn't turn out perfectly as far as if it looks distressed. But I left this matte for a photo. I thought it would be nice to just have a little bit of the image. Yeah, that looks nice. Okay, on the bottom, and we bring the album back. This is gonna fit right into that side, and it's just enough so you can fully see the word life and somewhat see embrace. And I know it's really shiny, but as I started off with golds and just that little touch of the purple that's all over the paper, I didn't want to start to dig into the purple too much, so I figured once again, just a little touch. I think in the very next page or set of pages I will really introduce the purples. And then for this side, I took some of that olive paper that we used to back the die cut over here. I had, why waste it, and I cut a strip that would fit into the pocket and inked up. Took some more of the olive paper with some of the beautiful leaves, stuck another one of the pretty embellishments, and I didn't mat the inside. I don't know if I will, but for the moment I'm just going to stick that into the pocket here, and that's it. I don't know, what do you think? Alright, so that's the first few pages, and I hope that there'll be less gold on the other pages so that you can more clearly see what I'm doing with the papers. But like I said, I wanted to keep it in the golds, the greens, the vintage photo, the natural tones that I already presented in the front with the burlap and the seam binding and things like that. And I will be doing more to the front at some point. Just a touch of the purple, and start to really show off some of the images that come along with this collection, and get a person ready for maybe visiting somebody's wonderful trip to Europe or a very special occasion. All right, so I made it. I have the inside cover and the first page pretty much done. I might add something, and I would show that to you at some point if I do. But essentially, I'm so glad that I was able to get back and do this, and I'm very glad that you came to watch. I'll be back with the next page. We didn't even use any of the pocket folds inserts on this, and we did use a good amount of just plain cardstock, so really we have not even dug into the paper yet, and we're on to the third and fourth page essentially, so that's pretty good. So I'm trying to do this a little more with a little more frugality than I did the Raindrops on Roses, and I'll be back as soon as I can get to the next page. Till next time, everybody, this is Kathy from Huckleberry Herbs and Art. Thanks for joining me. Don't forget to subscribe and leave a comment. I'd like to hear from you. Till next time, God bless.